Victory Studios in downtown Little Rock. This is Capitol View.
And good Sunday morning to you. Happy Easter. Welcome into Capitol View. I'm Jay Burr. Well, last week, Governor Hutchinson announced Arkansas is sending 5 ventilators to help our neighbors to the south. Louisiana has almost 20,000 COVID-19 cases. Over 2,000 of these are in the hospital. And officials say now they have more cases per capita than any other state. House Speaker Clay SCHEXNAYDER represents Ascension, Livingston, St. John the Baptist, and St. James parishes. He's here to join us now to talk about the COVID-19 impact in Louisiana. He's also the Speaker of the House of Representatives there. And Speaker Clay, we certainly appreciate the time. It's quite a different story down there in Louisiana than what we're seeing in Arkansas. What's sort of the vibe? I mean, we see the numbers, but what's sort of going on down there?
Well, I can tell you right now what's going on is we're having a lot of social distancing, people just wanting to get out and do the things that they need to do. But I can tell you right now, just seeing the things that I'm seeing is positive down here, where we're starting to see a few people trending to stay at home and do the things they're supposed to do at home, and just a positive outlook right now.
And I know, obviously, we're looking at a lot of the more urban areas. Obviously, New Orleans is one of the hot spots in the country, but we're also seeing a lot up there in northern Louisiana, Monroe, Shreveport. To me, it just seems like those are two different worlds, despite being in the same state. I guess, from what you guys have experienced, what really got things going up there in northern Louisiana?
Well, we're not sure exactly what got it going up that way, but I can tell you, the Caddo area, the Shreveport area was hit pretty hard. And I think, as far as the state and as far as the governor and Homeland Security, they've done a good job at getting up there. And it looks like the numbers are starting to trend downward a little bit up there. I think you'll start seeing numbers start to possibly start trending down on the positive side of it. And I think it's going to be a good outlook. I think if we just keep doing what we're supposed to do and keep people in home and at their places where they can stay contained a little bit, I think you're going to see a good positive outlook towards that.
And too, it seems like Louisiana, it just seems to be a little different from a lot of the other states in the South. Obviously, a lot of people might point to Mardi Gras as sort of the jump-off point down in the state. Is that something that's kind of been looked into, of sort of when everything really got accelerated down there in the state?
I don't know if you can blame it on Mardi Gras or push it in that direction. I think, South Louisiana is a little different than other parts of the country where, people like to visit and they like to do their things. And we get a lot of tourists down here in New Orleans. So could it have been something like that possibly done it? Maybe so, but I mean, it was moving around the country and around the world pretty rapidly, and that's why where we are.
I understand Louisiana's put together a task force to really look into some of the issues and some of the things to kind of help out. I know there's a little bit of a racial disparity down there in Louisiana as well. What's really this task force tasked with trying to find out?
Well, they're tasked right now just to get in and try to find some data on, what's causing the spread and what's keeping the spread moving. That's their biggest goal. I can tell you we have a few task forces, and one of them that we have in place right now, as far as the House and the governor's putting together, is an economic development task force to come out and help the economy get back going once we pass this. And I think that's more important than I think that's what the issues are right now down here with small businesses and the plants and things like that. So those will be very important once we're back in there.
And I know up here in Arkansas, there's not necessarily a stay-at-home policy. There is one down there in Louisiana. Have you seen some success with that in terms of the numbers, things like that, or things still just kind of trending upward, kind of like they are across the country?
I can tell you the stay-at-home that the governor implemented that we decided to follow down here was very successful so far. And I think we're going to keep that trend moving forward. We get through these holidays and these next couple of weeks, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Now, unfortunately, you guys did have one of your lawmakers down there lose the battle with COVID-19, and definitely we send our condolences from up here. But 54-year-old state rep Reggie, and forgive me if I'm saying his name incorrectly here, but Bagala passed away here. For you guys, for that to hit so close to home, because fortunately up here in Arkansas, we've only had 3 cases within the legislature, but for you guys to lose one of your own, I mean, what's just the general vibe like amongst the lawmakers down there?
I can tell you it's a sad vibe right now. We had a prayer call in this morning with over 100 legislators on it that we did a prayer for the family and sent out our support. And I can tell you, the governor has ordered all the flags that have staff, and it's heart catching, and it tugs on your heart really good, because Representative Bagala was a great guy. He was going to be a great legislator. His heart was in it. He was passionate for the state. He loved his LSU Tigers, and I can tell you he is going to be truly missed in the legislature this year and coming forward. So we send out our prayers to him and his family as well.
And obviously we do the same from up here in Arkansas, and I think for a lot of people, I think for just one occasion, I think they could send you a Go Tigers for one of your own down there. In terms of testing down there, do you guys feel that you've got enough of that data? Now, obviously, your numbers are a lot different than what we've seen here in Arkansas, but is there a problem with testing down there in the Pelican State?
I can tell you right now, we've actually, today, the governor has ordered a couple of testing stations to be moved to some more hot spots that we have where we need better numbers. One is both of them in the river region. One is actually in my district in St. James, and the other one is in St. Charles. And they'll start picking up testing there, I think, Monday. So the testing side is going very well. We're getting a lot of new tests in. I think we're like a lot of states where we're struggling on getting PPEs in, but we're doing our best with what we're getting in, and we're getting them distributed out to the hospitals and facilities that need them.
And I guess final question here, where does Louisiana stand in terms of how stretched out some of those hospital resources are? Because like we said here, entering into this, Arkansas donating 5 ventilators. I guess, you mentioned the PPE. Is that something that's kind of a struggle right now? Is Louisiana kind of to that point now where it's peaking out?
It is a struggle on the PPEs and the ventilators. I can tell you, the hospitals aren't maxed out completely yet, but our numbers are very close. And if we don't keep a steady trend of these numbers starting to go down, we're gonna be maxed out, and it's gonna be really hard on us as a state. But I can tell you, our governor's doing a great job doing his job, and our legislature's doing a great job of helping in their districts and doing those things. So if we can do that and get a little federal government on some more PPEs and some more ventilators, I think we're going to be a good spot coming here.
Well, that's a look at a much different story down there in Louisiana than you see here in Arkansas. Speaker of the House of Representatives in Louisiana, Clay SCHEXNAYDER. Boss, we certainly appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys down there. We might check it again once we kind of get through this pandemic.
Thank y'all, and God bless you, and y'all have a happy Easter.
All right, you do the same. And we'll be right back after this. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
Steve's Auto Body in Searcy. Call 501-380-6345 or come by Steve's at 200 East Line Road in Searcy.
The most trusted name in auto body repair. Steve's Auto Body is always there.
For nearly 2 decades, H2O Sports and Marine has been one of the largest dealerships in Arkansas. We know a thing or two about boats, like feeling the rush and performance of a Bass Cat. Or if you're hunting, fishing, or exploring the waters of Arkansas, discover low country at H2O Sports and Marine. From bow to stern, we have you covered with our full service center and all the parts and accessories you'll ever need. H2O Sports and Marine. Boats you love. Service you can trust.
Custom Landscape and Nursery is located 20 miles outside of Conway. We're an 80-acre nursery. We grow 75 to 80% of our material ourselves, so it's acclimated to our climate, which is a little bit different than the material that's brought in. I know when people come out to the nursery, they always refer to the fact they've really never seen a nursery like this. I'd like to invite y'all to come out and to check out the nursery. I promise you it'll be a nursery like none you've ever seen before. Visit our Facebook page or our website at customlandscapeandnursery.com.
My name is Daphne Boyd, and on April the 1st, 2013, my son Xavier Woods was shot and killed. My son was shot 7 times. Since he took my baby's life, my life has not been the same. Help Arkansas declare victory over violence.
Steve's Auto Body in Searcy, the collision repair experts. At Steve's, we are known for flawless work and quick turnaround. We work with all insurance companies and can handle your claim start to finish. Call 501-380-6345 or stop by Steve's at 200 East Line Road in Searcy.
You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
And welcome back into Capitol View. We want to go out to Van Buren County, find out how COVID-19 is impacting rural Arkansas. County Judge Dale James joining us from Clinton. And boss, how you doing? We certainly appreciate the time this morning.
Hi, thank you for inviting me to be on this morning. It's great to be here. Van Buren County is a rural county, but we've been heavily impacted by COVID-19. We started out a couple of weeks ago. We were number 8 in the state with COVID-19 positive patients and positive cases. Now I think we've dropped back down to around 16, 17, so we're moving in the right direction.
Is there anything that you guys have been doing differently, or is this just a matter of people doing what the Department of Health has said, you know, the social distancing, don't get out into it unless you absolutely have to, wearing your masks, things like that?
It is a lot of just the social distancing, wearing the mask, keeping everything, keeping your coughs covered. We have been communicating to the point of not miscommunicating where this is concerned. We've been doing daily updates with our constituents and with the county via Facebook every day, and letting the county know exactly where we are, how many cases now we have access to recovered cases, how many have recovered, and how many unfortunately have died. We've had 2 deaths within the county, and we try to keep the county abreast of that so we know exactly where we are and how to do better, and I believe Van Buren County is now ahead of the curve.
And a bunch like Van Buren County, there's a lot of rural counties here in Arkansas. Is there some things that we could see up there in some of those rural areas that you maybe don't see in the likes of Pulaski, Faulkner, et cetera?
The thing that the rural counties are going to see is the economic impact in county government going forward. I know we're going to have a meeting this coming week and trim a lot of our county budget. I'm sure a lot of small counties are going to be heavily impacted in this way. I saw Woodruff County is going to have to cut $200,000 out of a very small budget. So, and it looks like Van Buren County may have to cut about $400,000 out of our small budget.
And so I guess, you know, going forward, you know, how do you guys even begin to address those kinds of cuts? Because I think when a lot of people think about some of these big budgets, and we're hearing a lot of huge numbers from the state, hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars getting thrown around, you hear a couple 100,000, a lot of people don't think that's not much of anything, but for the counties, kind of a big deal. I mean, for counties that are stretched as is, I mean, where do you even begin?
Unfortunately, part of that is going to have to come out of people. We had the unfortunate circumstance of already laying some people off, and I hope we don't have to do too much more of that, but that unfortunately is what it takes to be able to balance our budget and make ends meet in the small counties. 80% of our budget is in personnel. It just takes people to get the work done, and that's the only place that we have left to cut.
I want to go back to one point that you made about being sort of rural, and I know you guys have been really trying to push the message. How do you guys try to maintain the seriousness of the situation? Because I know a lot of people are seeing, you know, these big numbers in sort of those higher urban areas. Arkansas, no stranger to that, even as with Pulaski County having the most cases in the state. But how do you push the seriousness of this and still maintain that this is a big deal, despite the fact that, you know, we're in a rural county, people are more spread out?
It hit Van Buren County really early and really hard when we had an early death. We were one of the first deaths that impacted Arkansas. So that brought it home to rural Arkansas really quickly. And when we started, I believe our first case was on March 19th. And then that burst up to, 17, 18, 20 cases really fast. And with the death along with that, it made the impact and the seriousness very much at home. And our county jumped into action and started taking the precautions needed to slow the spread.
And now, obviously, you know, jobs have been affected nationwide, but what kind of an economic slowdown have we seen in the likes of Van Buren County?
Oh, the economic slowdown is incredible. We're basically shut down. I saw one of my friends who's a cosmetologist say that she is not available for unemployment because she has no employees beneath her. She works on her own. So she's kind of stuck, and instead of looking forward to retirement, she's been wondering if she's going to be looking forward to bankruptcy. So this is really impacting our county.
You mentioned some of the budget cuts. Has there been any preliminary discussion amongst some of the maybe more rural counties, whether it be yours or even other ones that you know of, that there may be, at least going forward until things sort of get back to some sense of normalcy, of maybe doing some sort of service sharing, whether it be police force, utilities, or anything that can potentially cross over from county to county?
We are certainly in a time where nothing is off the table, and any idea is going to be welcome. We can share those ideas and be perfectly open to whatever can get the job done and still cut the budget. The Association of Arkansas Counties, as well as the Arkansas Municipal League, has done an outstanding job of giving the cities and the counties the information we need to make good decisions financially going forward.
And I know one of the big things here is the hospitals and the strain that's been put on them. What are we seeing from a Van Buren County standpoint in terms of the hospital situation?
Our hospital still has beds available, and because we are so ahead of the curve, we probably have too many beds available. We're ready for elective surgeries to go ahead and start taking place.
And now go ahead.
Right, the elective surgeries or surgeries that can be put off, not necessarily elective. That almost sounds like a cosmetic surgery, but not having those heavily impacts a small community hospital because they need that business to stay viable.
Absolutely. And now, has there been any talks, too, about maybe accepting some patients from some of the more urban areas, whether it be down here, Little Rock, even Conway, anything like that?
Like I said, nothing is off the table. Whatever's needed to get everything done is what we're willing to do as a county in Van Buren County. We are set with an extremely large amount of ventilators for a rural hospital. It may not sound like many, but our hospital has 5 ventilators on hand, and we have 2 anesthesia machines that can be converted to ventilators. So a rural hospital like ours with 7 ventilators is very good. We're very proud of our rural healthcare system.
Well, it's certainly a different look at things, especially from the rural standpoint, as I know we've been hearing a lot about some of the issues that they've been faced with. County Judge Dale James there up in Van Buren County, we certainly appreciate the time, and we'll do it again maybe when we get back to some of the more normal living here in Arkansas.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. When we come back, we take a look at the top political stories in the state. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
Acre Family Pharmacy is proud to serve as Maumel's only locally owned pharmacy. This allows us to offer better care at a better price with extended hours, free delivery, and custom compounded medications. So come on over and let our family care for yours.
Hey y'all, it's Courtney at Down South. Due to the ongoing situation, we've closed our showroom until things clear up. But we invite you to shop us online at downsouthar.com or on Facebook. We're offering curbside pickup now or scheduled delivery for later. And it's not too late to take advantage of our gift card incentive. We're all in this together. Shop local and support your favorite small businesses any way you can. Our family at Down South truly believes home is where the heart is. You're not cookie cutter, and your home shouldn't be either.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Is your home missing that something special? A wow factor that sets it apart from all of your neighbors. The Shade Above in Little Rock will tailor any design that will fit your unique style and vision. We have custom designed pieces with handmade products that you just cannot find anywhere else. Our interior design service is just different. You have to see it for yourself. Don't settle for just good. Go for the best, and then go a shade above that. The Shade Above, 2208 Cantrell Road in Little Rock.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Are you looking for something new or exciting to do?
Maybe a delicious twist.
Oh, it sounds good. You have to join us for DJ and Heather's Bucket List.
Yes, because we're going to have all the must-haves around Central Arkansas.
DJ and Heather's Bucket List on KARK4 today. We're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
Welcome back to Capitol View. Governor Hutchinson and Dr. Nate Smith said they talked with Dr. Anthony Fauci on Friday and with the Trump administration COVID-19 task force. After sharing their numbers with him, although the state is not under a shelter-in-place order, Hutchinson says Dr. Fauci gave them approval on how they're handling things right here in Arkansas.
I was grateful for the opportunity for Dr. Smith and I to brief him. I haven't seen the transcript, but I understand that Dr. Fauci did talk about Arkansas in one of their daily briefings, so I look forward to seeing his specific comments. But we will.
Another thing Dr. Smith referred to is a study that was done by the CDC between March 31st to April 7th. Shows Arkansas has some of the lowest COVID number increases in the country. Thousands of Arkansans have filed for unemployment as this pandemic continues to make its mark on the state. The Arkansas General Assembly taking up some notable items on Friday, mainly dealing with unemployment. Governor Hutchinson recommending 2 amendments to appropriations bills. The first one dealing with the Division of Workforce Services. The governor adding on over $2 billion next fiscal year and $1.37 billion more for this current fiscal year in appropriations for the Department for Unemployment Benefits and for obvious staffing issues that have arisen. Now, lawmakers are pushing the Department of Commerce on Friday on what they would like to see done in regards to getting those claims pushed through and processed more efficiently. The majority want to see the hotline operate for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week to reduce some of the logjam that the state is still seeing. Also, the online processing normally operates from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but legislators want to see that to go 24/7 as soon as possible. Senator Will Bond thinks more can be done during this pandemic.
And I know we want to push them towards online, but there's just a lot of people who need to talk to somebody or feel like they should talk to somebody. So that's what I would like to hear today, that we're going to commit that 8 to 3:30 is kind of looks like banker's hours in a crisis.
State also added $3.8 billion appropriations for the Pandemic Unemployment Compensation Program. The state will now be able to dole out funds from the CARES Act, and that includes the extra $600 to current unemployment benefits. It also extends benefits for an extra 13 weeks and broadens benefits to those that are self-employed, freelancers, and independent contractors.
For all of the individuals that would normally not be eligible under the state, the regular state unemployment benefits, and are now eligible for this pandemic unemployment assistance.
Lawmakers say the coronavirus crisis has shown that the medical and pharmaceutical supply chains are critical to our national security. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports one congressman is working to encourage the federal government to treat medical and defense supplies the same.
Arkansas Congressman French Hill says Americans have been caught off guard by problems with medical and pharmaceutical supply chains amid the coronavirus crisis.
We need to not ever have that happen again.
Hill has introduced legislation that he says would make the U.S. more prepared for the next public health emergency.
We've just realized the last 2 months that a lot of our supply chain is offshore. It has limited number of participants, and sometimes they're all in China.
It would treat medical supplies like ventilators, protective gear, even vaccines, the same way it treats defense supplies needed to build planes, ships, and missiles. The legislation would amend the Defense Production Act, a powerful emergency law that allows a military leader to take over factories and supply chains and distribute the products where needed.
My bill would make sure the president has a strategic plan in place to do that going forward, where we have a little less mystery about this.
Even Hill's Democratic colleagues in the House, like Alabama Congresswoman Terry Sewell, agree that Congress should act to give the DPA more teeth.
Ensuring that not only we can manufacture the equipment we need, but we also can preserve the prescriptions and the drugs that we need stateside.
Hill says he hopes to build support for his plan when Congress returns to the Capitol in the weeks ahead. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
And we'll be right back after this to close out the show. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
The opioid epidemic is destroying families and communities across Arkansas. You can help reduce overdose deaths in just 5 easy steps. Talk to your doctor about pain treatment methods other than painkillers. Monitor and secure your prescriptions. Dispose of unused or expired prescriptions safely at a collection site or an Arkansas drug take-back event. If you know someone taking opioids, visit your pharmacy to obtain naloxone to temporarily reverse an overdose. Download the Arkansas app for life-saving information and resources, including how to save a life with naloxone.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle. Looks like advanced engineering. It smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
We're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
Let's remember, fellow Arkansans, as we do our part, even in social distancing through Easter, that there's another day coming. And we have good days ahead. And because of the leadership of our governor, because of the things that he and his team are encouraging us to do, and we're following it, hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later.
Well, let's be honest, this is just beautiful video here. Thousands of gorgeous tulips in bloom at the Biltmore Estate. A delightful diversion from the coronavirus pandemic. And there are just some of the 95,000, yeah, you heard me right, 95,000 tulips blooming now at Biltmore. So amidst what we can feel at times these days, like almost constant despair, perhaps the sight of these tulips will provide just a moment of joy for you there. Oh, man, that's good stuff here. Well, that is going to wrap it up for today's show. Enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend. Stay safe out there.